Hello and welcome to Be Powerful with Liz and Lee. It's a new day and we're so glad you're here.
So you can expect to hear candid conversations on what it means to be powerful. Live authentically, live in the midst of ups and downs, productively, and above all else, joyfully.
We are so thankful for you, our community of listeners, and we hope you enjoy today's show. Liz.
Hi, Lee.
Buongiorno.
Good try.
Buongiorno. Nothing too hard.
Let's try again. Let's try to butcher it worse than you did just then.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. Salute.
Grazie.
Prego.
Ciao.
Okay, that's enough. So here we are. We made
This
it.
is the Italian episode by two very American women.
Very American, doing our best to fit in. We do not fit in, but the beauty of Italy is that they like us anyway.
There we go. Yeah, I like it here.
Oh, I love it here. Tell them where we are right now.
Okay, so we've done a little tour, lovely little holiday in Italy that began in Florence. I then said we were going to Tuscany, but let's get this straight because I was wrong. Tuscany's a region. Florence is a city in Tuscany. And then we just went to the countryside of Tuscany. And now we are at a different location, which is still Tuscany, but we're on the coast. And I highly recommend it.
There's not one thing in Tuscany that we have not liked. Not one thing. This is the people of Tuscany are friendly. They know how to live life.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know the Italian word, of course, for joie de vivre. We probably don't even say joie de vivre right. La dolce vita.
Whoa.
Ooh, that was bad.
La dolce vita.
La dolce. Okay, you just say it and I'll just go, yes.
Oh my gosh.
They know how to live. They know how to
Mm-hmm.
relax and appreciate. And boy, do they know service where we've been, right? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things. And really, as a traveler, I think the most important things that just goes a little broader than like service. Do I have what I want when I want it? It's about making people feel welcome and appreciated. And so
we understand
have had really great service in most places and sometimes not, and that's okay. But like when someone comes up and asks you what you want, but wants to have a conversation and be friendly and kind when we're from a different country. And, it's just really important to me. And I think what I said to you was that's what we love to do.
At Hilliard City
Method, right? It really translates into everything.
Now, if we
do.
could add the wine and the food, we would be now that would be a real
La dolce vita.
La dolce vita.
Oh my gosh.
No, and we've talked about this on the trip, and gosh, this has been just the most glorious, heavenly getaway trip. I can't be any more grateful than I am to everyone, to you especially. But we were discussing like what's more important, the quality or the service, honestly. Sometimes being appreciated as people, and this is one thing the Italians, at least in our experience in the last 1.5 weeks, going on 2.
Don't rush it.
Has been people listening to you, being helpful, allowing you to mess up, which we do all the time, and serving us incredible food and wine and just friendliness, right?
Exactly. Friendliness.
And that's
kindness.
all we can all ask for anybody or any place. So when you go on vacation, be of service to each other and then not expect it, just know that it will come to you.
Right.
I mean,
well, it's how you treat other people. It's very simple. It's a very simple thing.
And by the way, I have to say I'm getting distracted because
I can't imagine why.
I know.
Set the scene.
Here's the scene. So Lee and I are perched up on this perch. It's
like
a perch, a cliff. We're on a cliff. We're overlooking the Mediterranean Sea with some massive yachts. And on the horizon is a major ship out there. But basically we're looking at clear water as far as you swim. We went swimming a while ago and you were funny. I'm like, if you look way down, it feels like you can look like 150 feet down to the bottom.
It's not that deep that you can see, but you can see through it, this turquoise gorgeousness. And you keep wondering where the whales are.
Well, they are.
And
they're out here.
I don't want to know.
But how many whale eatings people have been eaten by whales in
We're gonna have
Italian
to do
Riviera.
some fact checking on the
Well eating.
but yes, it's been a lovely tour. I think to see countryside and unspoiled land is so
Ah,
refreshing. I mean, to drive through highways and cities throughout all of Tuscany and just look up and you'll see a village here and a village there and such
mm.
history and just greenery is really super refreshing.
And besides our favorite day at the winery, which I really want to talk
Oh,
about,
yes.
was the day that we did not plan that I rented the Fiat and we got
Yes.
out on the open road in in the straight drive. And Lee, you are the excellent navigator. And we got ourselves to two different medieval villages.
Sam.
It's like,
Here,
yeah.
Liz, here's the game. Name me two cities,
Yes,
towns
yes,
you visited in
I
Tuscany.
have this.
Go.
Arezzo and
Good.
Cortona.
Yes.
And Cortona, for those of you that have not seen Under the Tuscan Sun, my new hashtag on Instagram will be Under the Tuscan Sun and Gay in a Way.
Go watch the movie
Go watch
if
the
you
movie,
need
you'll
a
understand.
refresh. So, yes, we made it to our hotel in the Tuscan countryside.
Mm.
And I'm going to rat ourselves out because we were talking about service and we went service snobbery. So, let me back it up. Love shout out. How many times have we shouted you out, Lucy? Lucy Williams,
She's such a
travel
great travel
agent,
agent.
helps us get us to all the places we want to go, do the excursions we want to do. So, Florence, we're going to put all this in the show notes. Villa Cora, stay
It's a
there.
must.
The reason we stay there is because it's slightly outside of the city. And I mean, we walked all the way from a restaurant
Right.
all the way home. It's not that far, and an easy 15-minute shuttle or taxi, whatever.
But it is a luxurious place, and it is a place where you get away from the city noise. Not that Florence is that big of a city, but you need some peace and quiet, right?
I knew that when we first arrived, so I wanted to be in Florence and experience it. Rome was a little much for me. This is my second time in Italy, and the first time we did Rome, and I was like, bah. So I knew that if we were arriving in a city, I wanted something a little out, and they have a pool.
Oh,
Will
they don't just
allow
have a
us.
pool. They
It's
have an
lovely.
experience.
It's
quite-
lovely. And so we stayed there, and that was like top notch service
5-star.
where everybody wants to speak to you, and the general manager is coming
Oh, we
over
know
to
them.
say,
Yes.
"How
We're coming
are
back in the
you?"
winter for a massive celebration. Keep you posted.
Stay tuned.
Hashtag Gay in a Way.
Okay, so one of the most fun nights there was their pizza and champagne night, and of course
Yes.
Liz is gonna poo-poo anything with bread in it. But
Oh,
anyway,
that's not
it was
true anymore.
champagne.
So this wonderful Italian waiter just walked up, what, I don't know, 50 steps
Yeah.
to give us a frozen popsicle because it's 3 in the afternoon or 4 in the afternoon and the heat is high and everyone needs a popsicle. So anyway,
Okay, I'm
there's
going
that.
back to pizza and champagne night really
Yes.
quickly because the highlight of that was we were just in the swimming pool, threw on some clothes, and decided to join everybody for pizza and champagne night out by the pool. Well, all of a sudden, 60 of the most posh looking Italians roll
Well
up,
dressed, shoes for days.
linen shirts for days,
Oh,
women who mean
gorgeous.
business for days.
Mean business.
And so we asked the waiter, what is happening? And they were like, oh, that's just all of the most wealthy people in Florence here for champagne and pizza night. And I go, Liz, you need to go up to the bedroom,
No.
suit up,
Yeah, that's what
and
you
come
did.
back down and make some friends. But you didn't want to, and it was so
Okay,
surprising.
I'm sorry. I was super exhausted. We had just sort of gotten there, sort of. And she
Yeah.
goes, the way you said it, suit up and come down and do your thing. I'm like, nope, not going to do it. We're going to have to meet them another day.
Well, we missed an opportunity. But here's what I have to say about Florence. We had a cooking class. Get with Lucy if you want to do it.
Max.
Oh my God, he's the coolest
Follow
man
him on
ever.
Instagram. Max.
Amini. Put it in the notes.
He's so good.
Most fun.
I made and ate pasta.
Oh yeah, so we know that I like to do the cooking around here, but I let Liz kind of run free.
Liz. I like that. Let
I'd let her
Liz.
do it.
Hashtag let me.
Yeah, you and Max were rolling pasta, cutting pasta. Okay, so we're gonna wrap up Florence. Cooking class, amazing. On the Ponte Vecchio, you cook pasta like a champ. It was a lovely city. I want to go back there. Next.
Honestly, sorry, Lucy. We love you, but we didn't love this resort. And it was a Ferragamo resort.
But I think that's the problem. You
I
can
think
put a
that
name
is-
on something, but
What's the name? Okay, what's the name of the El Boro?
yeah.
And they're beautiful and luxurious all around the world. For some reason, it wasn't our thing, but here was our thing. We were in the heart of wine country, Chianti. You get me started on Chianti, and I'll talk to you more and more and more. One thing I learned about Chianti
Wait,
is
you're skipping
I know
ahead.
I'm skipping ahead.
Just wait. So let's talk about your amazing driving skills.
Yes.
We wanted to leave the property and didn't have anything planned. And so Liz, in her super skilledness, rented a car. They
It's
have a
really not a
great,
super skill.
it is a super skill. They have a great concierge there. He was lovely,
Mhm.
who told us these are the towns you should go visit. Liz ordered a Fiat, drove it like a badass that she is, visited, as you said, Arezzo and Cortona. I highly recommend. So if
Highly.
you picture medieval village on a hill overlooking countryside, this is it. We bought our obligatory leather bags. You
Mhm.
bought a lovely hat.
Mhm.
And Cortona, as you mentioned, is where a lot of Under the Tuscan Sun was filmed. And now we'd like to buy a villa there.
We really
Anybody
would.
want to
We
go in
actually
on
looked
it?
into it.
Let's
We are
go.
gonna need some investors.
Yes.
These are not cheap, right?
Right.
Right. But no, we love that area so
It was
much.
gorgeous.
But the best day in Tuscany was the day we went to the winery.
right? So the next excursion we did, thank you very much, Lucy, was to a winery called Colle Barreto. Probably hacked that, but it was an exclusive family-owned, just us
From
experience.
1 AD, excuse me, they've been there a while. Right. So a guy named Bernardo met us at the gate.
The winemaker,
He was the winemaker. He was
a genius,
he was a historical buff.
encyclopedia.
And what he spoke to us about was the purity and the
Mhm.
He said in Chianti, in his vineyard, everything they do not irrigate. The vines of these grapes go deep, like 2 meters into the earth, and they retrieve the water they need. And so some years are better than others. And of course, we can't speak to winemaking, but he taught us probably in an afternoon more than I've ever known in my life. And I've discovered that Chianti is not just that. I think it's got a bad name in America.
I think it gets a bad rap.
Very bad
It's a
rap.
region where
Yes.
many different grapes are
Many.
grown.
Mostly Sangiovese.
Sangiovese, that's good.
Right.
And so we went into kind of all the ins and outs of organic winemaking and what that means and what the certifications are. And I think what I took away from that is the pride that these
Oh,
people have in the products that they're making
yes.
and the importance of buying things local and that you know where they came from. And we don't always get that opportunity in Charlotte, North Carolina, in the United States. And I think the more and more we reach to the local people who are growing the food and
The
growing
farmers.
the grapes and the farmers and it's just
His
really important.
his words were, "I buy all my vegetables from someone I know, all my meats from someone I know, and I buy my products at a grocery store.
Mhm.
And after that, I'm good." And so when he said, "Yes, we're certified through the government organic," it takes 5 years to do that. He said, "But we've been organic for hundreds and
Forever.
hundreds of years, as are most of the Italian winemakers. It's just what they do. They don't do it the way we do it in America."
That's
So
right.
the wine we've been drinking is so tasty and healthy and,
Right.
you
Well,
know,
everybody always says that when you come to Europe or
and
you drink wine off the vineyard, you
right.
lose the sulfites and that hangover
You don't
ness.
have the
And you're
hangover.
drinking
And we've
things.
had enough to give us a serious hangover. But no, you don't get that. So that was a really special
Really
day
cool
for us.
experience.
Yes.
Learned a lot. Okay, and now we are wrapping up our trip
Mhm.
on the coast. It's called Porto Ercole, which is the port of Hercules.
Uh,
Again, ancient, very unspoiled. So think of Positano, but with no one there.
mhm.
If you've ever been or seen the postcard pictures, it's like you look up and there's a huge mountain. We're in the cliffs. We're looking at see-through water, but it's just us. So I think that's a really
If you're out
relaxing
where all these massive
way.
yachts are, at dusk you might not be able to see the hotel unless the lights are on. It's sort of in the rocks of the
Yes.
mountain. I don't know how to say that. I mean, it's
It's quiet.
it's private. It's very exclusive. Some very rich Romans are here, and I guess other people, but we're here. We're not
We're
really
doing our
rich
best to hang
Americans. We're
on.
just hanging in here the best we can. But it's just a place. I don't want this place to be spoiled. It's not crowded. Gosh, what can I say more on this? Because I'm full of disclosure. We're having a glass of champagne right now.
Mhm.
I went down a while ago, and we're kind of perched on top of this hill. And I asked our waiter, the guys that have been back and forth all day, I went, I don't want to be with like those kind of Americans, but we did order this a while back. He goes, he was so apologetic and threw in a bottle of champagne to make sure that our experience here was perfection. And that is the epitome of this Italian experience that we are having. I can't recommend it more.
So, vacation holiday, grateful, relaxed.
Beyond grateful.
We'll be excited to get back home and get back to work. Nope, none
We're
of
not
that.
excited.
Okay. So thanks for following along about our Italian journey. So grateful for this land, these people, for you, my love, to enjoy some quiet time and some fun time and new experience time together. And we're well aware that last week
we dropped
a
bomb.
podcast bomb, and then we left. And so you wanted to say some things about that.
Well, I don't really want to say anything about it except for this. That was the hardest podcast I've ever done, and this is definitely the easiest podcast I've ever done. But I don't want to stop this podcast without thanking the many, many, many people that have shown support for that podcast. I appreciate all of the comments and the DMs and the text messages and the emails or whatever, however you have chosen to get in touch with us or with me. I think it's been interesting. They've gotten in touch with you, and then they've gotten in touch with me in certain different ways. Everybody's been supportive. Whether you agree with people or not, people's stories mean everything. And so the stories that we tell enlighten life from all the different colors, from the fact that you don't have to agree with me and the fact that you appreciate me and my story mean everything. And I wanted to say that. And I wanted to say those of you that do not agree and that, that have supported me anyway,
right?
You are the best. And all of you are the best because we're just living our lives, and keep telling your stories wherever you can find a way, an outlet, because you can tell one person to make a huge difference in their life without knowing it. I just want to say thank you for that. Life is hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's not lost.
So take your moments.
On any of us that there's still a lot going on in the world and people are really struggling. And if we can just take a moment to hear and appreciate other people and what they have to say, I think it'll open hearts and minds. And I honor you. I appreciate you for doing so.
Honor each other and honor the love. Yeah. Being brave is being yourself. The hardest thing in the world is to really be yourself, and that's bravery. So if you do that today, you're good to go. Today it's really easy for us to be ourselves as we're sitting by the sea. There'll be other days it won't be so easy.
Right.
But we'll do it anyway. And there's my phone. That must be the reason. Oh, and it's my granddaughter.
Oh, we're going to sign off on that.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to us today, wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, you can now find our podcast on YouTube.
Yeah. If you liked it, please share, rate, and review. We love 5 stars. And we hope you'll work out with us online or in studio at HilliardStudioMethod.com.